I know.
Don't get.
Don't cry. Don't cry. Okay, it's okay if you cry. Okay,
Alright.
these
Show it to
questions normally they're
strong. No.
Okay. Are you guys ready?
All right.
Here's mine.
Oh no.
Was there ever a time you felt like you were losing your mind?
Oh.
Was there?
I just thought of
There
one,
time.
but you need.
Face it like that so you guys can see it too.
Can I say mine,
Um,
or do you want to go first?
These are actually pretty deep.
I'm trying to think of. Yeah, you can go if you want. If you want to go first, you can go first.
So, like we were talking about me being in the United States Navy military,
You lost your mind.
boot camp. Like boot camp is like a psychological
Yeah.
battleground because you are deprived of so many things. You are in a place where it's all like controlled, and like once you go through it, you're like, I would never do it again. Like I would never want to do it. Physically, it was easy for me. Like I was able to wake up early. But the thing is, they wake you up like at 4:30, and then you go to bed like at 10 or 11. So you're like sleep deprived. They control what you eat, they control what you see, where you're at, what you're doing all the time. And for me, it was like, okay, like, we just gotta, stick with it. But it was like day after day after day. And then you're just counting the days when it's over. That's all you're thinking. You're like, oh, like 45 more days, 30 more days, 15 more days, 10, 9, 8, 7. And you're just dreading that day. You're like, you want it to come, you want everything to end. And it's so physically draining. I mean, mentally, draining and stressful. And I saw people break down. I saw guys who I knew a guy who was like a football player for his high school, and he was there at boot camp with me, and I just saw him break down. I would see people, just collapse like mentally and emotionally. And it was like, for me, I think the only thing that really helped me was just kind of knowing like this was gonna end, or this is not forever. But I definitely like the letters of my mom, or like the little times where I would have fun with like the guys. And
where were you?
And it was Great Lakes, Illinois.
Okay, how long were you over there?
For like 2 months. Or no, actually I was there for like 10 months in total, like boot camp, and then my schooling after boot camp was still up there.
Oh, okay.
So, and then also it didn't help that it was like freezing and it was cold.
Oh, yeah.
Like it got
A lot
really
different than California.
Yeah, so I felt like I was losing my mind. I was like, oh man, I wanted to end. I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done with the boot camp. Like I just need to get out of here. It was one of those things. Yeah. So that was my story.
Dang.
I gotta go now.
I'm trying to think, man.
Mine is I should have gone first.
Is it better or worse?
No, mine's like a watered down version of that.
Oh, that's still good.
No, in high school, you know how I told you guys that we had our 0 period, and that was I think the first
For football.
Yeah, for football. That was, I think, the first taste of like having to really wake up early, because I had to be there at 5 a.m. So that means I did have to wake up at 4 a.m. and then get a ride to get over there just so I can get there on time. And then literally work out, then go to your first period, all through your full 6 periods, and then after that have practice in the afternoon, not get out till like 8, and then do it all over again. So during that time, it was definitely very tough. A lot of like mental work where you're dealing with school and you're dealing with the sport, and you're dealing with low energy, and you're dealing with kind of like sleep deprived as well. It wasn't at the same level of it, but it was definitely pretty intense. And I think that's what kind of got me to the point where I kind of like built that like mental callus to be able to eventually later on in life wake up for work every single day at the same time, because that's what I do on a daily basis now, for work, to get just to the same location that we were trying to get to earlier. It takes like give or take an hour to get there.
Yeah,
So
maybe
I have to be there at like early in the morning. So that means I'm waking up at like 5 in the morning or even earlier if I hit traffic in the morning to go over there and then go work, then hit traffic on the way back because you always hit traffic on the way back, and then get home, do it all over again. That's not on top of like
I know that feeling.
any extra stuff like UNFC, Copper Rose Plumbing, church, my wife,
family.
trying to walk the dog, which I never walked the dog, although I've been walking
The dog
dogs.
walks you.
The dog walks me, it just drags me behind. And then any projects like around the house, like if there's the garage light went out or if the water heater needs to be changed or other stuff like that. And it's like,
Better to be homeless, dude.
I don't know about that.
Just kidding. I just kidding.
But just stuff like that, that kind of like gives you that like mental callous. So like early on, I think, yeah, it helped me get to that point, but it did, you kind of do lose your mind because you're like, this is totally different. But it's almost like, guess what? This is reality. This is like being an adult. So get used to it. But like in the process of that, it's like you're losing your mind because you're going from being a kid to being an adult. So I think that would be my losing your mind would be
my story.
going from being a kid to becoming an adult.
Yeah, it's a extreme. It's a hard transition from kid to adult, but I mean, we all have to do it
Exactly.
if we make it to that age, of course, you know. But yeah. What about you, Tony? The
To be
tiger.
honest, since you started talking, I'm trying to think of something. I just can't think of anything, to be honest.
Anytime that you were just like
Sorry,
maybe
I'm whack.
No, it's hard. Sometimes you don't
yeah.
have the answer to all of the questions.
Honestly, I can't think of anything right now. Maybe something will come up while you guys are talking. You can move on to the next one if you want.
yeah, let's